Good evening, friends and fiends, and welcome to our newest segment, Mad Matt at the Movies, here at Blood and Guts HHN. I'm excited about this new segment as it gives me the opportunity to watch new horror movies, whether it be at the movie theater, streaming services, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. It doesn't matter the format. Like I said, it just gives me an opportunity to watch horror movies and then be able to share with you, the viewer, my thoughts on them. So without further ado, the film that I'm going to review this week is Strangers Chapter 1. Directed by Renny Harlin. And friends and fiends, if you are a veteran of horror movies, I'm sure you've heard of the Strangers franchise as it began back in 2008. That first film was very well done, has great atmosphere. What I can really say is it's one of the best horror movies I've seen that creates tension with its characters because you don't know where the killers are at any given time. And it doesn't really rely on jump scares. It's just the way the tension actually builds and feeds throughout the movie. So if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. Definitely give it a watch and let me know what you think. With the success of the first movie making over $90 million worldwide, it was shocking to see that the second one took so long to come out. But after about 10 years, we did get The Strangers Prey at Night, which was released by Avion Pictures. As a sequel, I thought that done a serviceable job. It did not have as much tension as the first movie as I would have liked, but on the other hand, it does go into your classic slasher tropes. You do have some more chase sequences, you have some more blood and gore, so with that you do have a higher body count. And for that, I will say, as much as I like the first one, and I probably would prefer the first one over because it does make me uneasy when I watch it, I would say the second one is probably more entertaining. It's probably one that is easier accessible for people in the horror genre. Maybe they're just getting into horror and want to see that. And especially if you do love blood and gore, I think it does a great job. Well, friends and fiends, if you did see the second movie, Prey at Night, then you're probably asking yourself, where can they go with this franchise? That's a question I've honestly asked myself as well after watching that second one. But don't worry, we have Renny Harlin at the helm of The Strangers Chapter 1. And Renny is no stranger to horror films. He's given us A Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Master. He's given us Deep Blue Sea. The less we can say about the prequel to The Exorcist, the better. But he's also given us some good action movies such as Cliffhanger and Die Hard 2, Die Harder. So he does have some hits and some misses. He definitely has some other misses, like for me as well, like Cutthroat Island comes to mind. But with this, I was actually excited once I seen Renny Harlin was attached to it. The director himself, he said that it is not a remake and it is not a reboot. They've been mum on if it's a prequel, but they finally did say, the director and the producer did state that this was in the same timeline as the first two Stranger movies. So if you have seen the second one, you know it's going to have to be some type of prequel. So without further ado, friends and fiends, let's give you my spoiler-free review. With just a quick setup, nothing that's going to spoil the movie. It's everything that you've seen in the previews that kind of sets up the movie. So we have Maya, played by Madeline Pesh. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that incorrectly. And then you got Froy Gutierrez, who plays her boyfriend Ryan. So you have Maya and Ryan, who are now celebrating their 5th year anniversary by going on a cross-country road trip where Maya has a new job opportunity. So from there, friends and fiends, our characters decide they get hungry and take the off-ramp to go down a beaten path to try to find a diner. And of course, they don't have good cell phone coverage. Their GPS isn't working right, but they do stumble upon a backwood town where they do find a diner to go get them some lunch. But wouldn't you know, when they come out, Ryan and Maya's car has broken down. That's sad when you see that, but because it is a typical horror movie cliche. But the great news, friends and fiends, that's what drives the plot, to get our characters where they need to go. They find out it's going to take a day to get their car fixed, so they rent them an Airbnb out in the desolate woods where there is no help and no one around for miles. And it's not long after they've settled in that they hear the knock at the door and the question that we all love to hear.
Is Tamara here?
After that, the Scarecrow, the Pin-Up, and the Dollface do what we paid to see them to do, which is terrorize our young couple throughout the rest of the film. And I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to give too much away, friends and fiends. But if you're definitely a hardcore fan of The Strangers, I think you'll enjoy this film. Pros for me, I love the setting of it. I love it being out in the cabin. I love it being out in the middle of nowhere where you actually do feel like there's no help in sight. In the previous films, you know, they're in like a neighborhood, in a trailer park, so you feel like, hey, if they go beating on the door, somebody could help them. That's not the case in this one. I do feel like another pro of it, I feel like they do have some good tension at times throughout this film with their setups and with them being in the room. You can just feel them watching our characters, even though the characters are unaware of them. Another pro is I totally dig the actors that played these parts of the Scarecrow, the Dollface, and the Pinup. Throughout each movie, it's always been a different character playing the part, but I think they did a fantastic job in this. Now, for some of the cons, even though I did praise some of the tension throughout the movie, some of it I feel like was relied too much on jump scares. For me, Friends and Fiends, that's kind of something that after one, maybe two in a movie, that's as many as I'll give you. But if you keep doing it over and over, it eventually starts getting annoying because it feels like maybe your script isn't as tight as you think it would be. So then you've got to get relative to a jump scare and just a loud crashing noise at one time just to make somebody jump. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's effective in some scenes, but then at the same time, you can kind of see it coming. My main con about this movie is that it is a retread. It feels exactly beat for beat like the original movie from 2008. And when you prop them up side by side, obviously 2008's version is far superior to The Strangers Chapter 1 that Renny Harlin has brought us. And that's not saying that I didn't enjoy this movie. I thought it was a good movie, and I thought it was a serviceable sequel. So with that being said, am I down to watch Chapter 2 and Chapter 3? Yes, I am, Friends and Fiends. I'm looking forward to seeing those, but I do hope that it's not another retread. I want to see them actually expand this universe and expand the settings, maybe have some new different sequences. Like how they're going to do that, I don't know, because this is a franchise, honestly, where you're kind of hamstrung with what you can do because it's not something that's supernatural. You're not going to send them out to space to try to get you some type of new plot to get that cash grab. So with them already having these filmed, I do have some faith, hopefully, that we will see some new settings. Luckily, with a budget of $8.5 million, they don't have much ground to make up. They should be able to make that back and then some for Lionsgate, so they should see some profit from this movie. So that's one good thing about a horror movie, Friends and Fiends. You can make them on the cheap and make some good money. So with that being said, how would I rate the movie on here at Blood and Guts HHN, we like to do the Goldblum scale. And so for me, out of 5 Goldblums, I would give this one a solid 3 Goldblums. So I would recommend it if you definitely are a horror fan and you love the slasher genre. I definitely recommend this movie. If you love the previous 2 Strangers movies, I definitely recommend this movie. I think you will enjoy it. Now, if you liked the first movie and then you thought that was it, that's all the story that needed to be told, you probably would not find this one very entertaining. You'd, like I said, just see it as a retread. So at the time of this video, Friends and Fiends, Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 14%, and the audience has it at 42%. For me, like I said, so obviously it is divisive, but I enjoyed the movie, and I think you would too if you give it a shot. So there you have it, Friends and Fiends. That's my review of The Strangers Chapter 1. Like I said, I look forward to Chapter 2. It's not been given an official release date as of yet, but it does say on the Wikipedia page that they're shooting for later in 2024, with the 3rd chapter coming out in 2025. So let me know, have you seen The Strangers Chapter 1 yet? How did you feel about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments. And as always, Friends and Fiends, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and share this video with our friends. Always remember, if you are one of the ones that didn't like this movie, but yet you paid money to see another sequel and another retread, you have to ask, why did you do this? Here's your answer.
Because you're here.